Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie. In this video I would like to show you how to alter your pattern into panels. Okay, so after drafting your pattern like this, then you alter it, you change some things and you create panels with it. Okay, and it's going to also have armhole princess darts. Okay, so a dart is going to run from the armhole right into the body's pattern. Now if you're interested, let's get started. Okay, now this is my pattern. It's my front pattern. I have my side dart here. You can see my side dart is starting from the nipple point, and on my waistline I have my waist dart of 1.5 inches. I had already added the 1.5 to my round waist measurement, and you can see the tape here. This pattern used to be half scale bodice pattern before I added a part of the skirt to it to make a complete pattern. Okay, so right now the very first thing you will do is to locate your under bust. Okay, now you can create a bustier effect with this pattern, or just like contour it in a way. It might not be a full bustier effect, but you can just at least contour a little, so that it will have a very lovely fitting on you. And how do you do this is to come to the dart legs on your under bust. Now let me just label this. This is my UB under bust line, and this is my bust line. This is my chest line. Okay, and this is my waistline, and here I have my hip. Okay, so now what I will do is to come to my under bust. From the dart leg I will come in by, is either you come in by quarter or you come in by 3/8 of an inch, but I would just like to come in by quarter here, from here quarter here. Now you can do this if you are using a stretchy fabric, or a fabric that have a little stretch, or even fabrics that does not really have stretch. You can also do this if you don't want to have a full bustier effect on your pattern. Okay, so from here you come in quarter, from here you come in quarter, or even 3/8, from here 3/8. Okay, then you connect to the waist line. You connect this to the waist line. Okay, then then you now connect this point back to this point, but you need, this is the nipple point. Of course, I'm sure most of us that are beginners, if you have been following my videos, you would have noticed how I try to change one or two things on my pattern. Now from the bust point, professionally speaking, your dart is not supposed to start from the nipple point. Okay, you have to come down by at least 1 inch. Okay, so by the time from here you come down by 1 inch, then you mark. So after marking, for example, if I have my 1 inch from my nipple point here, okay, so this is where it's going to be. Then my darts will start from here, and it will be in a curvy manner. You can see what I did. You can see how curvy it is, and you can even, so then once you do this, then you come here and do what, and join it this way. Okay, you join it back to the waist line. Do you understand? So this is what you can do if you don't want a full bustier form. Okay, but if you want it to be a bustier kind of, you know, you want it to have a bustier effect, then what you are going to do, you are going to measure your round on the bust. So for example, if my round on the bust is 30, okay, then I can measure 30 divided by 4 and place it from the center front inward. And for example, if this is where it is, then from here to here you will measure what you have and insert it here. So now what I'm going to do, I'll make use of another pen to do this. By the time I measured my round on the bust, my round on the bust is about 2 inches away from the side line. Now I may decide to use 1.5. It will still be okay. All right, so if I decide to use 1.5, or you can just pick randomly and just say, okay, I'm taking 1.5 out, I'm taking 1 inch out, I'm taking 2 inches out. But I would advise you take at most 2 inches. Don't let it be more than 2 inches. Okay, so now, and again, you also need to go with your measurement. Measure your round on the bust in a firm manner and divide that by 4 and place it here. Okay, and wherever it gets to, just place it. Don't mind the dot that is here. Then you place it here and you mark, you know. So then from the mark, then from the point, you can now measure what you have from the point down to the side line. Then whatever value you are able to get from that, you place, you minus it with whatever. For example, if it's 2 inches, then from the dart leg, the original dart leg, you come out by 1/2 inch. So this is from here, half. Sorry, there's a mistake. From here, half. So this is original dart leg. Okay, so, and of course 2 minus half, that's 1.5. So the remaining 1.5, I'll measure it from this outer dart leg. So I'll just place it like this. I hope you can see. So this is 1.5 from here to here, not from this green line. This green line was just an illustration, okay, but the original dart is from here, from this pencil line outward. That's 1.5. okay, and from the dart leg here outward, that's 1/2 inch. Okay, then you can now place it 1 inch below the bust point or the nipple point. So just place it. This one must not be too deep, so just place it from here, a little curve. Okay, and from here also a little curve. For the armhole, I believe that you can just pick a point, like just randomly select a point and you note that point. From this point, you connect with a slight curve to the nipple point. Okay, because I have different methods by which I draft my bodice pattern. All right, so this method goes with any pattern that you are using, so don't be scared. All right, so with a curve, just put it this way, not too curvy. So make it like that and you are good to go. Okay, now because we want to create some panels from this pattern, and it's going to be 6 pieces. Now if I need 2 of these to make full front, that means this center front has to be on fold. I hope you understand that. So by the time you cut and this center front is on fold, and this one you are cutting 2 of these. Anyway, let's go on, then I'll tell you what to do after I finish drafting. Now all this is taking place on the under bust line. So you will take your ruler and connect this point to the waist line. All you need to do is just to blend this part a little. Now I need to get a paper to do this. Okay, so from here now I will come down by 1 inch. So I need to create a little dot here as well. So from here down is 1 inch. Okay, so from here I will just go up by 1 inch as well here. Okay, so can you see what it's looking like now? So all I need to do is to cut. So just cut from the middle. So please note that the dart that's coming from the waist ends here. Okay. So and don't forget that here has to be blended as well. And here, instead of just coming straight, you can just blend it here as well. Okay, I need to also add the paper because I need to, this 1 inch that I removed, okay, I need to add it back like this and connect it back to this point. I needed to do this before I can open this. Okay, now here I want to create some fullness around this side. I want to ease it a little, so all I need to do is just to extend from this point. Because I came down by 1 inch, I will go in by 1 inch from the bust point. 1 inch. Okay, so and from this point now I will connect it to here. From here I will connect it to here, so I will redraw the darts. So now that I'm done with this, and okay, I have opened this part now, I will open this one. So all this is going to be cut off, removed completely. Your checkpoints are very important. You know, I said from the hip line upward is 2.5. Okay, and that is where my dart ends. The dart that is coming from the waist ends there. So don't forget that you need to also mark it, because it has to match up at the time you are joining together. So I'll just put this aside first, and I will work on this. So I need to open. So can you see what I have here? I've taped it down and you can see this opening. So I need to cover it up with little paper. Just cover it up. So this is what I have right now. This is one panel, though I'm still going to work on each of the panels, but this is one panel that we have created. Then I will move to the other panel. You remember it was like this before. Okay, can you see? So it was a lip, so I've removed it. So this part must be removed completely because it is not needed. Can you see what it looks like? So this dart is necessary. The dart you took on the armhole is necessary so that the bustier can come out very well. Can you see? So the most important thing is to just add the 1 inch that you removed on the armhole. You add it back so that there won't be any shortage by the time you are joining, because there's a possibility that when you are joining it, it might not really, you know, there might be a shortage. Yeah, let me put it that way. So but to avoid shortage, that is why this is necessary. Okay, so and this is what I have. Then for the neckline, you can do any neckline of your choice. Any neckline of your choice is fine. By the time you cut on fabric, this must be on fold, so you are cutting this on fold. Okay, then you are cutting 2 of this. Okay, so if you are cutting 2 of this, that means you are cutting this on fold. This one will be opened up. That will be one panel. This one you are cutting 2. One will be here. One will complete the side. Do you understand my point? So then you have 3 on the front. You have 3 at the back as well to make 6 panels. You can remove this part from here. This is the waistline. Just take your scissors and remove it completely. Then you place it on the paper and you create some lines here. That is after you have removed it, meaning that you separate it on this part. Okay, you place it on a wide paper. Okay, and you cut each of the slash lines, then you spread. You cut this on fabric, then you join. It becomes a flare. By the time you slash and you open up, it's like you are adding some fullness to this part. I hope you understand. You join it back before you now connect it to the center, to this one. Okay, so this will be full and this will be normal the way it is, and you join it. So I'm just giving you a clue of what you can do. You know, designing is about creativity. Okay, so all the designs that you see out there, somebody created it, and it involves thinking and practicing as well. All right, so now I'm going to be doing something on it just to add a little fullness to each of this panel. So I'll be needing some paper around here. Now you can see what I did here. So, and I decided to rule the hip, the original hip line. You know, I said that I shaped it on this part, and that's why the shape is looking this way. So but I just want to assume there is not shaping, so I just want to do the right thing, and that's why I ruled it, you know, the original hip line. So now the next thing to do is to decide how much fullness you want it to have, how much allowance you want to add. Okay, how free you want it to be, or loose you want it to be on the down parts. Okay, so but I would advise you add 6 inches. The most I've ever done was 6 inches. I'm just recommending 6 inches, but you can go beyond that. Okay, so but my paper will not allow me to do 6 inches, but I will just pick a point randomly from here to here. Let's assume it's 6 inches. From here is about 6 inches as well. So you're going to, whatever you measure here, you're going to measure the same thing here. And the next thing to do is to connect to the waistline. It is as simple as this. Now, because this is the side, I would advise you just shape it a little. Okay, so or maybe after you are done joining, you can now place it and shape it like that, but you can still shape it and put 1 inch here. From here you go up by 1, then you connect with your curve line. I hope you understand. So anyhow you want to do it, or you can even leave it this way, but it's just that it will be a bit sharp on the side, but it doesn't matter because I've done it and it was like that and it still looked good. So you need to try several ways by which you can bring out your creativity in a very lovely way. All right, so I'll be cutting it right now. This is it. So I have marked my 6 inches from here, 6 inches from here, 6 inches. Now I want to say this, because this is the center front, it is meant to be on fold if it is for 6 panels. By the time you cut this on fold and you cut the other side panel, this pattern, you cut 2 of this on your fabric. Now by the time you cut 2 and you cut this one on fold, it will be 3. That is for 3 panels. Okay, now if you are doing that is for 6, that means 3 at the front, 3 at the back. That is 6 panel blouse. Now if you want to make 8 panels, then, or you want to make your front to be 4 and the back to be 3, you can do it. It will just be like 7 panels. So all you need to do is to add 6 inches from here to the center, from 6 inches, and you connect it to the waistline. That means instead of cutting this on fold, it won't be possible anymore. You need to cut 2 of these because of the allowance that you are adding on the hip area. I hope you understand. So you are cutting 2 of this. Why? Because of this alteration here. Then you cut it out. So can you see what I have here? So you can't cut this on fold anymore because of the alteration here. Can you see? So you need to cut 2 of this and you cut 2 of this to make 4 panels for the front, and you can now make maybe 3 panels for the back to make 7 panel blouse. I hope you understand that. Let's move to the back pattern. So if there's any question at all from this, please let me know in the comment section below. For the back pattern is not a big deal at all. So if you want to maintain the armhole princess, that is possible. Just pick anyone here, or you measure the front and you measure this as well. So whichever one you decide is fine. You connect this way to the top of the dart here with your curve ruler. So, or if you don't want to do the armhole for the back, you can do the one for the front. All you need to do, get the midpoint of the shoulder and connect it. Okay, so it's still the same process. Connect it to the point here. Can you see? So after connecting it, then you also extend the bottom of it, that you extend it to the hip line. Let it touch the hip line. Okay, so it's as simple as this. So all you need to do now is to cut this off. This dart is going to be removed what? Completely. Okay, this is the waistline, hip line, hip line. So if it's armhole that you want to do, you just like turn your scissors towards the line. Okay, now for the back, you don't need to create any dart here. You know, on the armhole process, on the armhole for the front, I created a dart on the armhole. Okay, but for the back, you don't need any dart. So you cut this off again to remove the dart completely. This is what it looks like. Then for this part, you know, it's a bit pointed, so you can just blend it a little. Just blend it a little. Can you see what you have? So now all I need to do is just to pick this, place it on the paper, add the same allowance. This is the side back. That is side back. And this is the side front. So what I did on the down part of the side front, you are going to do the same thing. Just create, put a paper, add the same allowance on either side or on both sides of the pattern. Then after doing that, you place it aside. Then this is a zipper. I hope you understand. So if you want for the center of the front, look at the center, I added the flare. Okay, now for the back, you can also add flare. This is the center back where the zipper is. So you add flare here, then you add the flare here as well. Okay, so that once you want to cut, you cut two of this. The zipper allowance will be there. So two of these will have flare on either side, so that the center will also be. So by the time you do that, that means you have created 8 panels. But if you don't add flare to the center, you only added flare to this point. Okay, then you cut two of these and leave the center this way for the zipper. Now I can say you have done 7 panels. Okay, so but if there is a flare here and there's a flare here, because this is the center back, then you have done 8 panels. That means for front, you know, I said that you're going to cut 2 of this. You are going to cut for the side. You are going to cut 2 of this, making 4 for the front, and you do 4 as well for the back to make 8. And the condition I gave for the back, if you want 4 panels, is that the center back also must have this effect. Okay, but if you don't want it to have the effect, that means you are planning to create 7 panels, 4 for the front and 3 for the back, because normally the back is supposed to be unfold, but because of the way the back is, we need to, you know, reduce zipper bulge, so the back would not be unfold because of that. So I hope you understand my point, and this will possess the same kind of effect that the front panel have. Okay, and you can decide whichever neck design that you wish to create. You can decide that on your own. Okay, so these are my panels. This is the back, center back for the zipper, and this is the side. Okay, and make sure that every checkpoint is, because you know it won't be nice if you are sewing and they don't match up. It won't be nice at all. So every checkpoint has to be considered, and for the front as well, every checkpoint should also be considered. Now if you are joining the bustier, I have several ways of joining bustier pattern or bustier pieces, fabric pieces. So you can check my channel for any bustier kind of video. Then you're going to get how you can, you know, maneuver your way around this to join properly. All right, soulmates, soul lovers, with this viewpoint of mine, I hope I have been able to convince you and not to confuse you that this is one of the best ways to create 6-panel, 8-panel, 7-panel blouse. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.